Okay, today we are pulling back the curtain on one of humanity's oldest and, frankly, most successful companions. We're talking about an organism that has absolutely perfected the art of living alongside us and inside us a lot of the time, completely undetected. Let's dive into the hidden world of the human pinworm, Enterobius vermicularis.
To really get a sense of just how successful this organism is, just look at this number, 1 billion. By some estimates, up to 1 billion people around the world are hosting Enterobius vermicularis right now. That's just staggering. It makes it one of the most common parasitic infections on the entire planet, thriving in every climate, in every country.
So what exactly is this incredibly widespread organism? Well, it's not a bacterium, it's not a virus, it's a highly specialized animal that has spent thousands and thousands of years evolving to make the human body its one and only home.
What we're really looking at here is an invisible empire, right? One built on sheer numbers and a very quiet, very effective global reach. And what's so important to understand is how it maintains this presence, especially in places you might not expect.
Now, let's get a key distinction straight. You know, when we think about parasites, our minds often jump to tropical diseases, right? Things like schistosoma or hookworms that get brought into temperate climates from travel. But Enterobius vermicularis, it's a totally different story. In a place like the Netherlands, for example, it's what scientists call an autochthonous infection. All that means is that it's a homegrown resident. It's already there, circulating continuously in the local population, which makes it the most frequent worm infection you'll find.
All right, so let's properly meet the specialist at the center of our story. Because really, understanding its biology is the key to appreciating just how incredibly successful it is. First off, Enterobius vermicularis is an obligate endoparasite. Now that word obligate is crucial here. It means it absolutely must live inside a host to survive. It has no other option. And for this parasite, that host is us, humans. We are its only natural home, which is a truly remarkable example of specialization.
And this chart, I know it looks a bit academic, but it shows you exactly where it fits in the grand tree of life. It's not some single-celled protozoan. Look right there at the kingdom, Metazoa. That puts it squarely in the animal kingdom, with us. Then you go down to the phylum, Nematoda. That tells us it's a roundworm. So what we're dealing with is a complex, multicellular animal perfectly adapted to its very, very specific lifestyle.
So how does this organism keep itself going? Well, its life cycle isn't just some boring biological process. Oh no. It is a finely tuned, absolutely ingenious strategy for survival and transmission that relies completely on us. So here's how the master plan unfolds. It all kicks off when its microscopic eggs are swallowed. From there, they hatch in the small intestine, and the worms grow up down in the colon. But then comes the brilliant part. Under the cover of darkness, the gravid female undertakes this covert nocturnal mission. She migrates out to the perianal skin to lay thousands of sticky, super irritating eggs. This, of course, causes an intense itch, which leads to scratching. And boom, just like that, the eggs are on fingers, they're under fingernails, ready to be spread to doorknobs, toys, food, or another person. It's a cycle that so cleverly exploits our own basic behaviors to ensure its survival.
Of course, a covert mission like that doesn't go completely unnoticed by the host. The most famous symptom is that infamous itch. But the consequences can actually go way beyond just being a simple nuisance.
The number one symptom is, of course, that nighttime itching, which can easily lead to restlessness and insomnia. But here's the thing. While it's often dismissed as just a trivial childhood infection, it's not always that simple. In some rare cases, you can get serious ectopic infections, where the worms actually wander off and end up in other parts of the body. On top of that, new research is showing that chronic infections might even affect our gut microbiome and our nutritional status.
So how do we even find this unseen intruder? Well, the methods of scientific espionage, if you will, have evolved like you wouldn't believe, moving from a surprisingly simple classic technique to the absolute cutting edge of modern tech. For decades, the gold standard for diagnosis has been the wonderfully simple tape test. Seriously, a piece of clear sticky tape is pressed against the perianal skin, ideally first thing in the morning, to pick up any of those eggs laid overnight. It's about as low-tech as you can get, but it's been remarkably effective for a long time.
But now, we're seeing a massive leap forward. Scientists are now applying artificial intelligence to diagnostics. By training these deep learning models, these convolutional neural networks, on thousands of microscopic images, they've built systems that can spot Enterobius vermicularis eggs with over 90% accuracy. These AI tools are way faster and more consistent than the human eye, and they could completely revolutionize how we do large-scale health screenings in places like schools and communities.
So all of this brings us to the final piece of the puzzle, right? How do we manage this cohabitation? Well, it takes a combination of effective treatment, smart prevention, and really understanding the new frontiers of research. So managing an infection is really a three-pronged attack. First, you've got effective antihelmintic medications that get rid of the adult worms, but, and this is a big but, medication alone isn't enough. You have to pair it with really rigorous hygiene. We're talking frequent hand washing, especially after using the bathroom and before eating, and washing bedding in pajamas in hot water to destroy the eggs and break that cycle of reinfection. And because those eggs spread so easily, a family-wide approach, treating everyone in the house at the same time, is often what it takes to get rid of it for good.
And this is where the future of public health gets really interesting. Recent epidemiological studies have found something fascinating. These infections aren't just random. They show significant within preschool clustering. What that means is the real hotspots for transmission are hyperlocal within specific groups and communities. This insight is a huge deal because it suggests that broad, scattered efforts might not work as well as targeted interventions aimed right at these specific clusters.
Now, just so you know, this entire explainer was put together using a Gemini deep search to synthesize all the latest research. If you want to see a complete list of all the scientific papers and clinical sources we pulled from, you can find a detailed directory in the Notebook LM document that's linked right in the description.
So, if you found this deep dive into the hidden world of the human pinworm as fascinating as we did, please subscribe to our channel for more explainers just like this one. We'd also love to hear what you think, so please leave your feedback and any questions you have down in the comments below. Thanks for watching.